How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the Not Automotive YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review of some new sockets that Harbor Freight started selling just a little while ago. So stay tuned. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you like this video, consider subscribing and checking out some of the other project and automotive related videos on my channel. And another quick plug, I've started announcing in my previous videos, I am starting to really promote to sell my photography prints. I do automotive photography as like a hobby on the side. So I have a Redbubble web store where I sell all sorts of prints on different mediums like canvas, metal, acrylic even. So definitely go check that out if you're looking for some cool prints to like decorate your man cave or your garage. So the topic of today's video is to review this socket set that I picked up from Harbor Freight, the new Quinn series sockets. They came out with these not too long ago to compete or to add another option to their sockets from the Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh Pro line, and of course to compete with other companies like Husky, Milwaukee, and things like that. These Quinn sockets are really nice. I've been using them here and there on some projects to kind of test them out to be able to talk about in this video. But I wanted to get a whole new set of sockets to overhaul my socket collection, if you will, because it's such a quintessential part of your tool arsenal when working on cars and having the right shallow socket or deep socket for the job. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in and show you guys the sockets, what you get, how much they go for, and how they kind of compare with some other sockets that I already have. What we got here is the full metric series of sockets from Quinn, or the Quinn series from Harbor Freight. So I decided to get all of the metric versions in 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive in both shallow and deep socket. Mostly because a lot of the fasteners and bolts that I work on the cars, even the Corvette, and domestic cars, I find that a lot of the bolts are metric size, so I just thought it would be good to start with buying all the metric ones, and then, you know, when I want to buy more sockets later, I'll buy the whole SAE set. But this is the whole series of sockets from Quinn as far as the metric goes. They're really nice sockets, and I'll break a few of them out here. I put them back in the holding case for this video, but I had a few of them out for some past projects. But they're really nice sockets, and they go for, you know, between $9 to $13 for a set. These are about $9, and then the bigger deep sockets, these are about $13. So all in all, you're looking probably around 100 bucks for all 6 of these, and this is the full series of sockets for the metric version. And it's nice because the Quinn sockets, they're color coded. I'll do a close up here in a sec, but they're all blue, so metric blue indicates that they're all metric sizes. So another feature of these Quinn sockets that really made me want to buy these versus some other competitors for various reasons like price, but in particular another reason was the fact that when you buy these little mini sets of sockets in the different sizes and lengths from Quinn, you get a continuous size pattern. So the sizes, for example, on this shallow 1/4 inch drive start as small as 5 mil and go continuously up in 1 millimeter increments all the way up to 14. You're not missing any sizes going up. And I know a lot of socket sets will skip certain sizes and only include the sizes that are most used or most popular. So it's nice knowing that you have all of the sizes going up continuously. One, if you're OCD kind of like me and you like having a continuous socket set just to kind of make you feel better, or two, you know, just reassurance knowing that most likely you'll have that socket size for whatever project you're doing. Because I know some projects they'll require really unused socket sizes or not common socket sizes, so it's nice knowing that when you buy these you'll have the full range of sockets, unlike some other sets. Another thing that's interesting about these Quinn sockets is that in these 3/8 shallow and 1/2 inch shallow, they are 12-point sockets, unlike your standard 6. And if I'm correct, I think that has to do with just the fact that as the bolts get bigger, you need more torque, and so more contact points with the 12-point socket is more ideal when you need to torque things down a lot. But what I'm curious about is why they don't do the same with the deep sockets. So if anybody knows why they do the shallow sockets in the larger sizes in 12-point, but not the deep sockets, because these are all 6-point, definitely leave a comment below if you're well versed in your tools. Another thing with the Quinn sockets is they are made in Taiwan. They are not made in China like a lot of other Harbor Freight tools. If you know anything about manufacturing, Taiwan is known for a lot better quality and control when they make things and sell things. So these sockets are definitely of a higher quality level when compared to your standard Harbor Freight sockets. They come with a lifetime warranty, which is really nice. And so they have high visibility markings, which I'll get to in a sec. They're fully polished with a chrome finish, and they're made from vanadium steel. So they're really nice quality sockets. You can just tell by picking them up that they're really hefty and they're not cheap. And I know some sockets from Harbor Freight have been known for just breaking from too much torque. But these sockets are definitely of a higher quality, so you shouldn't have to worry about that at all with these Quinn sockets. Now, some other features of the Quinn sockets that really prompted me to buy these versus some of the competitors or other sockets was the fact that, one, like I said earlier, the sockets all have these colored stripes on them. So the metric ones all have a blue stripe. So that's really nice to see from, you know, a perspective of if you're in the middle of a project and you're trying to quickly get to some socket sizes, you'll know that, oh, this is most likely my 7mm or whatever versus my SAE, the one that I was using. So it's nice to have these color coated. Just kind of adds a nice feature to them. And the other thing that really sets these apart from other sockets is, one, the markings are actually a part of the cast. They're not just etched into the design like a lot of other sockets, which I'll bring some over here and compare in a second. So the markings, the branding of Quinn and the size are all stamped, or not stamped, but part of the cast when they make these socket sets. So it's really nice to see that too. They have these really nice and large markings, so it's easy to see the size, because I know some other sockets, when they etch the sizes in, you have to kind of really look hard for it sometimes, but with this nice and large size here, you can see that easily that that's a 10mm and this is a 9. So just to bring some others in here for comparison, this is some eTorx sockets that I have from Harbor Freight, and you can see this is just your standard Pittsburgh socket, and these are just etched in. So with the eTorx, the sizes are a little bit bigger. You can see it's E14 on this one, but it's just etched in, and it's not nearly as nice and not nearly as visible when compared to the Quinn one. So I really like the way that they did that with the design on these sockets. And just for further comparison, here's a Husky socket. So you can see on these Husky ones, the size is much smaller, and it's just, again, etched into the final cast of the socket here. It's not part of the actual cast itself. So that size 7/16 is much smaller and harder to read versus the ones that are on the Quinn. Here's another Husky size here. So you can just see the comparison between the etched versus the actually part of the cast. I don't know, in my opinion, I just like that much better. Another thing too, when comparing these, when I first got these, is just kind of comparing the overall weight. So I have, these two are similar in size, but this one's a little bit larger, but just comparing like the heftiness of how these feel. They feel very much the same. So it's nice knowing that, you know, Husky is a pretty reputable brand. They're endorsed by Home Depot, that's their main carrier. You know, these Quinn sockets are on par with just kind of the overall feel and finish of the sockets when compared to the Husky ones. Now, of course, this is more of a short-term review, and I've used these Quinn sockets here and there on some projects since I got these. But of course, time will tell when I start using these more heavily with the go-kart. I know it's out of focus, but the go-kart and the Corvette, of course. So that'll really be the, you know, the true test of these over time. So maybe I'll do another review later down the line. But just my initial impressions and initial use of these Quinn sockets, you know, I'm just really happy with them. The quality and the price. Like I said, each socket set, depending on the size, the smaller ones are about 9 to 10, sometimes 11, I think, for the deep sockets. And then as you get larger with the 3/8 drive and 1/2 inch drive, they go upwards of 12 to 13 for a series here. So you're pretty much just, I think, if I do my math right with tax and everything, depending on where you live, you're looking at right under or just about $100 for your full set of metric or SAE. They're both the same regardless of metric or SAE as far as price goes. Now, of course, there are superior socket brands and sets that you can get if price isn't an issue when you're looking at buying a new set of sockets for your tool collection. One thing that I wish these had that the Milwaukee sockets actually have is a flat side in the design, so that when these are laid on their side, they actually don't roll away. So that's kind of a cool feature that I saw with those Milwaukee socket sets, and some other brands might have that same feature as well. So there are definitely, you know, of course, superior socket sets out there, but given the price for these, you know, considering the fact that I don't have all the money in the world to spend on tools and I still want a nice set of sockets, these are just so nice. I'm really happy with them so far. You know, there are superior brands like Snap-on if you want to pay for sockets with your kidney, and other brands too, but just given the price, I'm pretty satisfied with these Quinn sockets, and I'm really excited to have these as part of my tool collection in the box here, and to add the SAE set line of sockets in the near future. Another thing I should mention here, since I'm trying to take all these off and put them in my box here to show you guys the final product, but Harbor Freight, man, you guys, if you're watching this video, you guys make these insanely hard to get off these little things, and I get it, you don't want people stealing sockets in the store, but I've been wrestling with these little holders here off the plastic clips that hold these sockets in, but I finally found a way that works when trying to take these sockets off the little holders here. So you can break the socket off the slider, and then you're stuck with this little thing here, and for a while I was trying to like pry it off, but the easiest way I found is just get a little screwdriver, shove it in this way, and of course be careful so you don't stab your hand, but hold it down, hold the socket down here, and then just kind of, it comes right off. So a little pro tip to get these extremely annoying holders off of your Quinn sockets. Alright, so finally, like 20 minutes later, I was able to get all these things off the holders here. They're a real pain in the butt, but use that tip that I just showed you and it should help you go a lot faster. But I got all the sockets arranged in my organizer here in the toolbox, which I also got from Harbor Freight. But this is my metric side, and then this is my SAE side. So all my SAE sockets are from a previous Husky socket set that I had from before, and I had a few metric ones as well. But when I get the new Quinn sockets for the SAE version, take these out like I did with my metric, and they're going to go in my portable toolbox here, which I can take with me to when I take the go-kart out, or eventually when the Corvette, get it up and running. So I'll have a portable socket set for that as well. But I really like how it turned out in the box here with this with the Quinn sockets. So I got all my shallow deep for 1/4 inch, shallow deep for 3/8, and then shallow deep for 1/2. And so we got all our sizes there, and I had some spare room to be able to put my hex drive and my star drive sockets on this side as well. So it came out really nice. I'm really happy with this socket set so far. Granted, like I said, time will tell as I use these more to see, you know, how they hold up over time, but so far I've been thoroughly impressed. I should note that none of this was sponsored by Harbor Freight. I bought those with my own money. None of this was paid for or sponsored for this video. This is just my honest review and impression of these Quinn sockets from Harbor Freight, so know that when you're taking in this information from this video is a completely honest review with no sponsor bias at all. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions about the socket set or anything related to the garage here or any of my projects really, feel free to leave them below and I'll be happy to answer them for you guys. And big thing, we just hit 14,000 subscribers, so thank you so much guys for your continued support on the channel. I really appreciate it. I love doing this with you guys and sharing all my experiences and my projects on YouTube here. It's really fun and I'm really enjoying it. I haven't been able to make as many videos recently just because I've been so heavily involved with my last semester of grad school getting my master's. So my thesis is due in a few weeks and I have to defend my thesis, so things are just crazy right now, but I've got a whole log of videos that I want to film and ideas that I want to film in the garage here with the projects, the go-kart, the C55, the Corvette. Lots of cool stuff to come, just in a little bit of a busy season with school, but lots of really cool content to come after that concludes. So thanks again guys for watching. I really appreciate your support and viewership on the channel. Definitely hit that subscribe button, and other than that, I will see you guys in the next one.